Hello guys, how's it going? AlexTheGrumpyOne here. I hope you're well. Today I got another episode on the Celica, guys. I'm going to be showing you how to do a compression test on your engine. This is obviously going to be very similar for the petrol engines. The basics are pretty similar. Obviously it depends where your components are, but I got my digital test kit that I'm going to show you today from Draper. It's easy to use, guys, and like I said, I'm going to show you why we're doing this and what you have to do to get the proper results from it and find out if your car is healthy. Right guys, so the reason to do a compression test on your engine is if you're buying a new car and you want to see the health of the engine, obviously I'll definitely recommend doing this, or if you had it for a while and you just want to give it a quick check. But the main three reasons is the high oil consumption on your car, poor engine performance, or poor fuel economy as well. So what you're doing by checking this, you're going to check if there's an issue with your piston rings, or if your valves are not sitting properly, or if you got a head gasket problem. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. I'm going to show you how to prepare everything. The first thing I would say, you have to run your car to normal operating temperature. It does help. And obviously I'm going to show you what you have to do after that. Right guys, so what we're going to need for this job is a bit of paper where you're going to put your cylinder numbers there and the readings that you're going to get to see the difference. I'm going to explain that in a bit. I'm going to use my new kit that I got from Draper with all the necessary tools that you need pretty much to work on the car, which is great. I'm going to show you that in a bit. And obviously the kit that we got for the compression test. Like I said, I'm going to put the links in the description below, guys, if any of you are interested in any of this stuff. It's definitely great tools, guys, to have. And like I said, this kit is perfect kit to have to work on most of the stuff that you got on your car. Right guys, so here we got all the tools. Look, you can see spot on everything that we're going to need for the job, including the spark plug socket with a little rubber in there. They're going to help you get the spark plugs out of there, and plenty of other tools, guys. Like I said, you can do pretty much everything on the car using these tools. Right, here we got the kit, guys, that we're going to be using today. So like I said, you got a digital gauge there. They're going to need 2 AAA batteries to go in there. You got the flexible holes there. They're going to attach into it. And you got 4 different adapters, guys, which is definitely handy to have because not all the kids got them. So this is for all different size plugs, and that will fit pretty much any cars, guys, from the old ones to the new ones. But you also got the universal rubber ones that you can hold the pressure gauge on top of it while you're cranking the car, but you're going to need the help of someone else, obviously, to crank the car. So I'm going to be using the adapter today because I'm doing it on my own, so that is going to be perfect. Right guys, so what we're going to need to do is take this cover off. I got aftermarket bolts on there. You should have 10 mils, I would think, on there. Also, we'll have to unplug the coils and remove the 10 mil to get the coils out of there, so we can remove the spark plugs. And also there's a choice that you can do. You can either remove the fuel injection relay out of the fuse box, which is a bit of a pain, or you can unplug all of your injectors just to avoid the fuel going in there while you're doing the test. Obviously, one important thing is make sure that your vehicle battery is fully charged, because when you're going to be cranking it, you need as much power as you can. And also, while you're cranking the car, you need to make sure that your foot is all the way on the accelerator, so you got fully open throttle, that the air is going in there, so you're getting the best performance that you can get for the compression test. Right guys, so like I said, I'm going to remove all the covers now and unplug everything. Right guys, so here we got the plugs for the injectors, so 4 of them. You can use a bit of maintenance spray on top of the plug there on the side, just to slide it off easier, because they can get a bit of dust and they'll be a bit tough to come off. So I use a bit of screwdriver. I already squeezed a little bit of maintenance spray. So just push the tab in and you unplug. As you can see, there's a little tab that you squeeze in. So let's get all of them off. While we're here, guys, always avoid pulling the plugs like this by the wires. Try and get hold of the actual plug so you're not damaging the wire or not pulling it out. So just disconnect them. So that's nice and easy, guys. You're going to have the same thing to do with your coils there. As you can see, you have to squeeze it in and it will come off. So I'll do it now. Some of them are already missing the tabs, unfortunately. Go, lift that up a little bit. And there you go, that came off. So I'll take the 10 mils off now. Right, so now just get all the 10 mils out of there. Right, so now we've got only the spark plugs to get out. Right guys, so once you removed everything, the spark plugs is out of there, what you do is obviously find the right adapter for the size of the thread on your spark plug, and that's the one that we're going to be using in there. And what I have to do is get that on there and start doing a compression test. Right, so here I got my flexible hose. They got little rubber O-rings, obviously, to make sure that everything's tight and not leaking the compression out of there. So tie it up on there. Don't need to go crazy. You got another O-ring on there. And we're going to start with number 1. Don't forget, on this engine, the number of the cylinders goes from number 1 from this side to number 4 to that side. On some cars, you can have a different order. So we'll fit that in there, screw it in. There goes slightly tight. Yeah, that's good. That feels good. What we'll have to do now, obviously, is connect it to the gauge. Right guys, so once the battery is in, you press on button, it comes up with the reading there. As you can see, PSI, or if you're working with different measurements there, you got 4 different settings. I'm going to be working with PSI. So now we are ready, obviously, to connect it to the hose and crank the car up and see what the reading is going to be on number 1. Right guys, it's all connected, turn it on and ready to jump in the car and obviously crank it. You have to crank it about 4 times, and like I said, make sure the battery is fully charged when you're doing this and that your accelerator pedal is all the way down to the floor, so the throttle body is fully open. So we got 210 guys on the first one. That's a very good reading there. Right guys, so as you can see, we've got 210 on the first one. What you do now is obviously take it out there, put it on the second one, then go to the third one and the fourth one, and don't forget to write down the readings that you're getting. Like I said, when you're cranking the engine, crank it for about 10 seconds guys. Make sure it goes through quite a few full revolutions of the engine to get perfect reading on there. Right guys, so we're number 2 now. Screw it in there. Don't forget that you got the button there to press to release all the pressure that you got in there, but obviously once you've undone it and unplugged it, it releases it anyway. So we're on 0 again, and let's crank the car once more. There you go, we got 205, drop to 204, so that's perfect. That's another healthy cylinder. So now we've got number 3. $211, perfect. And now we got number 4. So fingers crossed it's going to be the same reading. $224, perfect. That is great guys. Right guys, so as you can see, I've written down all the results here, so they are pretty spot on. That's amazing results, so I'm happy with that. The engine is healthy on that part of it. So just to let you know that for 1ZZ to have a perfect compression, it needs to be above 218 psi, and for 2ZZ, which is what we've got here today, it needs to be above 203 psi. So yeah, I think we're quite good on there. The minimum for both of the engines should be 145 psi. And the difference between the cylinders should be about 15 to 20 max. So I think we're all good there. Right guys, just to let you know, obviously from here my results are good, but in case you got some issues with your compression, the next step will be is to put on the number, say if you got an issue with number 2, put a bit of engine oil in there down the spark plug hole and repeat the compression tests. So if adding oil in there helped, then you might have an issue with your ring on the piston, or your bore is either worn or damaged. So obviously that will be an internal issue there. And if the pressure stays low still, even after pouring the oil in there, that means you might have an issue with your valve being sticky or not sitting properly. or there might be an issue with the head gasket as well. So they're like the three things that you can find out with this test using the oil. Right guys, so here we are. So we've done the test. Like I said, my results are good. Hopefully your ones are as well. If not, comment below guys, let me know. I've been more than happy to help you. I'll give some opinions or suggestions what you can do. But yeah, hopefully you get the good results as well guys. Like I said, it's good check on your engine to see the performance of it or how healthy it is. So what you have to do now, obviously put the spark plugs and everything back in. The torque for the spark plugs guys is around 25 Newton meters. I usually put a little bit of copper grease on the thread of the spark plug, just a little touch there, just to make it easier to go in and out afterwards if you need to. Obviously don't forget to plug in all your injectors and all the coils afterwards. The torque setting for the 10 mils that you got to hold the coils in there are about 9 to 10 Newton meters. So just do it up until it feels right. And don't forget guys, once you've done this, in case you're gonna have some fault codes on there, you can either clean it using diagnostic tool. I'm pretty sure you're probably not gonna have any codes, but if you will, and you haven't got a diagnostic tool, just disconnect the battery for about 5 minutes, plug it back on, and you'll be fine. So that's all good. And yeah guys, please let me know in comments below if you enjoyed the video, if it was helpful, and what you're looking forward to me doing next. And don't forget also to give us that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you soon guys. Bye.